My country people them. When I don't surely see these pictures them where amber fools they spread them on social media, they talk say congratulations for Cameroon their independence on the 1st of January 1960. According to them, as ignorant as they be, they want to display some kind of or put out some kind of message. Say Cameroon will get independence on a different date from Southern Cameroon, so now two different countries. Them. That is literally the stupidest thing. All where you need for do now for understand. Excuse for man no. It is a historical fact. I make I explain for now why it happened the way it happened. Both French Cameroon and British Cameroon or British Southern Cameroons, they be being United Nations Trust territories. As the name indicates, the French Cameroon side it will be administered by France. The British Southern Cameroons or the British Cameroons it will be administered by Britain. So when time be reached now for the countries and forget their independence, they do their assessment. France, they assess say Cameroon it be viable for get the independence, and on the 1st of January 1960, Cameroon get the independence, the French part. It get the independence, get the president, President Amadou Ahidjo, a form his Senate, a form his government, ministers, industries, get diplomatic relations with all the other countries around the world. It get a seat at the United Nations. It's a sovereign state. Get international passport, national anthem, a flag, everything. At that time, on the 1st of January 1960, where did the British Southern Cameroons be? It was still a colonized territory. It was still a United Nations Trust territory administered by the British. And the British, they do their own assessment of that territory as well. And they come up with the conclusion, say, these people, they not be viable for being independent upon themselves. It means that they not be developed enough. They don't get enough population. They don't get industries. And they don't get the natural resources for being independent upon themselves. If you leave these people, then say they be independent, it could be now a failed state. Now the assessment that way the British they come up with, and they take that conclusion to the United Nations, and the United Nations it accept. So not just the British, but the United Nations as well accept that conclusion. Say so the territory they not be viable for being independent upon itself. So now why that way? On the 11th of February 1961, when now more than 1 year after the French part of Cameroon don't already get the independence, 1 year after. Now that time that way, the British Southern Cameroons now they vote. The British Cameroons now they vote. Remember, they vote in a plebiscite for join French Cameroon, and they give them only two options. The two options within activity will now go either gain independence by joining the Independent Federation of Nigeria, or will now gain independence by joining the Independent Republic of Cameroon. At that time, 11th of February 1961, where our grandpapa they vote, remember, they no beg una for can't join them. They be already been an independent country with their anthem, with their flag, with their parliament, with their president, with their diplomatic relations, and a seat at the United Nations. The French Cameroon now, they no beg una for vote for join them. Our forefathers, they vote, democratically decide for join Francophone Cameroon, French Cameroon, for form one country on the 11th of February 1961. So that country now, it go through changes them, change the flag, change the name, change the other thing them for accommodate this smaller territory. Small territory, these two regions, them northwest and southwest, where they can't join them, where they vote for can't join them. The only other alternative was to join Nigeria. Until today, two things them where where they don't happen, where we be 100% certain about. The first thing that's the British and the United Nations, they were right. The British were right in the sense that the former British Cameroons, when at the northwest and the southwest region today, they not be viable for being independent in 1960, and they still not be viable for being independent today. And they don't show una examples. Look at the so-called liberation struggle, Ambazonian nonsense. How many presidents do they have? In the beginning, even the people them on the ground, the civilian population, them they be bamboozled, misinformed, and they support them. But what has happened? They don't turn their guns against the civilian population. They don't sure say they don't get the ability for unite under one purpose and one common goal. They don't sure say they be juvenile and illiterate at the way they don't understand the way the international system functions. They don't understand. They be so stupid as they process the so-called liberation, whatever nonsense. They don't make no political calculations. They are just bumbling around, killing themselves, fighting amongst themselves. So the British were right by saying that territory was not viable to be independent on its own. They were right, 100% right. They were right in the 50s, and they are still right 60-something years after that. They are still right because today the Anglophone region is still not viable to be independent, and they don't prove them unequivocally. They prove them with this Ambazuna nonsense. If when I hear Capo Daniel cry today, they talk, say they beg for make some kind of arrangements under one Cameroon, so because the Ambazuna nonsense don't fail. You know, they blame Cameroon government for their failure. They tell when I say now because of their own inability for unite, their own infighting and disunity, their own Anglophone versus Anglophone infighting. It don't get nothing to do with Francophones. So when I know if we blame the corruption, the marginalization, the infighting, the embezzlement, the stupidity, when I know if we blame them on the Francophones, when I know if we blame them on the United Nations or on white people them. So the blame comes back only on the Anglophones, their inability for being mature, for being intelligent. Now the reason that way they find themselves where they are today. The second other thing where where we don't discover and say what forefathers they be right about. Now they vote for the plebiscite. We don't see how the Federal Republic of Nigeria it don't go along since independence from 1960 till today. How many coups d'etats they get them? In the first 6 or 7 years of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, they will get, I think, 6 coups d'etats. They killed several presidents. They even get the Biafra War from 1967 to 1970. Serious war where 1 million people, they die. That one are dead. And then they talk about the injured, the destitute, properties destroyed, and all of those things. That war would have been 100% inside the Northwest and the Southwest region, inside our territory, if we would have been a part of Nigeria. That devastation, if we've been in our territory, that would have been the war zone, because we would be part of that Biafra nonsense. So forgetting about even the Biafra war and all of those things, look at the political situation, the social situation, economic situation in Nigeria and everything else. We are better off in Cameroon than being in Nigeria. So two things where they don't happen over these many decades since independence till today. One, the British were right, the United Nations were right in saying that the territory was not viable to be independent upon itself. Say they must either be they must gain independence by joining Nigeria or joining Cameroon. They were right. Secondly, and our forefathers made the best decision for joining French Cameroon. And the reason why we're the Francophone part of the country, when at the majority, the reason why they need to celebrate the 1st of January as Independence Day is not because they don't want to celebrate it. They celebrate their Independence Day on the 1st of January 1960. They celebrate their Independence Day on the 1st of January 1961. And then now on the 11th of February 1961, when they began the plebiscite in the Southern Cameroons and the Northern Cameroons, the British Cameroons, the Northern Cameroons vote for join Nigeria, while the British Southern Cameroons vote for join French Cameroon. So now, out of respect and courtesy for the people there, for the former British Southern Cameroons, that's why the Francophone part of Cameroon, they know they celebrate the 1st of January. They look for a day where it be common for both the two Francophone and Anglophone regions. That's why we celebrate the 20th May. We celebrate the 11th of February as Youth Day, because now the day where we cry and we jubilate at the same time. We cry the 11th of February 1961. Where brothers them in the British Northern Cameroons, they believe they vote for go join Nigeria. But we also celebrate, say, where the Anglophone part of Cameroon, when at the former British Southern Cameroons, they vote for reunification. And then we celebrate the 20th of May. And now why they want to get the biggest boulevard inside Cameroon, the capital for Yaoundé, the biggest boulevard where all the national ceremonies and everything will take place today. where Hilton Hotel there for there, it leaked towards Prime Minister's office and everything. And I think it come from a Post Central all the way up to the Prime Minister's office. That boulevard, they call and say 20th May Boulevard because we celebrate the 20th of May. Now that day way, they will get a referendum in Cameroon where all man the vote was 90 something percent all across the whole country for unite the country. Now why did they call and say unification, for unite the country, for go from the United Republic of Cameroon to the Republic of Cameroon. Whether you like what happened on that day or not, these are historical facts. And if you don't like them, then do the political groundwork and the grassroots work for make sure say you bring about the political change for reverse which will happen. President Amadou Ahidjo, it not be just take over the country and then decide which way one do. No, it play politics. It play with politics with the former British Southern Cameroon politicians, them like John Foncha, Estimuna, Endele, and the rest. It play politics with them. By 1966, now the former British Southern Cameroon's politicians, them Endele, Ahidjo, Muna, and the rest, they will decide for dissolve their political parties for create one party system inside Cameroon. 1966, go read the history. Now politics. President Amadou Ahidjo be suggesting for them, they buy the idea because at that time the infighting will be there in the southern Cameroon or the West Cameroon, because time when they be joined as a federation. For West Cameroon or the infighting will be there inside. Now why that way they cancel that nonsense federation. So now by 1972, 11 years after the reunification, after the two countries they come together, 1972, now that time that President Amadou Ahidjo, after don't play enough politics, they don't let the former British Southern Cameroons, or now they call themselves West Cameroon, they don't play their own internal politics, they get their own internal dynamics, they see how they're fighting amongst themselves, and all of those things. By 1966, they dissolve their own political parties for form one party inside Cameroon, and all the political leaders in the Anglophone Cameroon, they accept that reality, they accept for dissolve their political parties for form one party inside Cameroon. By 1972, President Amadou Ahidjo now, this year and say, it don't ripe. Now for unite the country now, cancel away the federation, right from the beginning. The President Amadou Ahidjo no be like federation. It be only accept federation as a compromise to appease the people then from the British, the former British Southern Cameroons. Yes, that is a fact. And if our people were smart enough, if they get two brain cells, they would have understood this. Now the former British Southern Cameroonians, they will get a responsibility for defend and protect the federation, because now there be one federation. Francophone Cameroon no be wanting no federation. It be just one country. Just like how Nigeria be just take the northern Cameroons, absorb them into Cameroon, break up the territory, share them into three different states them within the Federal Republic of Nigeria. That's what Francophone Cameroon could have done. But they say, okay, out of respect for Una, out of the agreement where we will get them before Una vote for join we, okay, we will go into an arrangement of federation. And they go into the arrangement. Years they go by. Politics play itself. It reached level where, because of the political internal dynamic inside West Cameroon, Una decide for dissolve our own political parties, then because of infighting, okay, a few years later now, 11 years after reunification of 1972, President Amadou Ahidjo now, obviously with the powers where Una give you, Parliament be get power at that time. In the federation, West Cameroon be get a veto power. All you just have to do is vote any bill down. If Una vote a majority of the West Cameroonian representatives them in the federal House of Assembly, they vote any bill down, and then that bill it no go pass. You had the veto power, you had that power. But when I decide, or we Anglophones them decide, because of our own stupidity, as I talk, we not be viable since the 1950s to the 1970s to the 80s to today. We never still be viable, we never learn. We never still learn and understand how the world they work. When other people they play politics past we can't cry say they cheat. No be cheating. Now politics is a game of interest. They don't say and say it be now in their best interest for dissolve the federation. You were not in your best interest for protect the federation. You no protect them. So now they don't dissolve the federation legally. They get a referendum. The people voted massively from Cambe, for Manfe, for Bamenda, for Batibo, for a Kiliwindi all-man vote. The vote was 90-something% on the 20th of May 1972 for cancel the federation, and then now it formed a unitary state, one party system, and all of those things. And the political elites inside West Cameroon, inside the former British Southern Cameroon, the Estimunas, the Jongo Fonchas, the Muna, I don't call Muna, the Endeles, the political elites, you're looking at Professor Fondlon, all of those Anglophone elites, all of them, they campaigned for this, for us to dissolve the federation. They campaigned. They go out on the field in Limbe, in Manfe, in Kumba, in Kambe, everywhere in Bamenda. They went out, campaigned. Say me they dissolve the federation. Campaigned. Say me they go into a unitary state with the Francophone Cameroon. They campaigned. No mind the lies where they can't tell us today. They campaigned for it because at that time, their political calculation between us, it will benefit them. Personally, they were not doing that calculation, say it will benefit the population. No, they will calculate, say, now, maybe them could be president of the whole country. Or maybe them could become something, because at that time, don't forget, say, at that time, the vice president of the republic, it will be Jongo Foncha will be vice president of the republic, and it will be what do they call it? It being a vice president of the Republic of the Federal Republic of Cameroon, and at the same time, it be being a prime minister of the West Cameroon or something. I don't forget the exact title now because I make this audio, I don't get notes. So all this information I had to tell you out of my head. So when I go look at 1961, when the British Southern Cameroons joined French Cameroon, Jongo Foncha occupied now 2 offices. Them. A few years later, it be forced, because of political tension inside West Cameroon, it be forced to relinquish one office and then stick to one office. Now, Estimuna, it take the other office. And then even Estimuna don't be Speaker of the House of Assembly and all of those positions. So, 1972, at that time, all of these Anglophone political leaders, them, the Estimunas, the Endeles, the Fonchas, they will make these political calculations then because they be favored them, because they be see, say it go benefit them. That's why they dissolved the federation. And then 72 can pass. By 1982, 1984, about 12 years after they don't dissolve the federation, they don't be now one country. Now for then this idea of Ambazonia come up with a lawyer on a barrister Goji Dinka. It bring up the name Ambazonia for the first time in 1984. This idea start come up now because the Anglophones they don't say and say this, so dissolving the federation was not politically advantageous to them. So they don't say and now say the power dynamic don't shift. They have less and less powers now because they don't give up their power to the central government in Yaoundé. The small leverage where they get them as a federated state, they don't give them up. So now they start out of desperation. They started talking now, say, okay, in that case, we will become an independent country, or we talk because they change the name of the country, or they give all kind of excuses, and then you get the situation where Jongo Foncha them and Dr. Munzu and the SCNCB form, they go for America, reach for them, they tell them unequivocally, say this. So first of all, the decolonization office at the United Nations, it don't be dissolved because all territories have been decolonized. So as far as you're concerned, the former Southern Cameroon has been decolonized. So now an internal problem. They hear that one, it passed them because they're bad news. They can't buy flag, United Nations flag for gift shop for America. Then can't fool una. They cross the Mungo holding the UN flag. Can't work at the lie. They tell una say the United Nations is coming to decolonize the Anglophone region and give una independence and all of those lies. That was in 1994 or 1995. Those lies have been coming a long time, since the early 90s. They don't lie una. That the political elites in the Anglophone zone, where the British, they look at them, they say these people are not intelligent enough, they don't get the population, they don't get the natural resources, they don't get the infrastructure. Basically, they are not going to be viable to be an independent state on their own. That assessment in 1950s stands true today for 2024. January the 1st, when me had tell una, it stands true. if I look at the Anglophone zone, who are your leaders? Una point me the leaders where una fit, if it take una go independent today. Ayabacho, Ona Sako, Chris Anu. I mean, Chris Anu even better pass Sako, Sako na Mumu, the stupidest, dumbest, dumb fool where I don't ever see him. Now the idiots in this way, they go give una independence, where they go be una presidents. Ayabacho, honestly, Ayabacho, really? So these assessments them. So una fit see and say so it be stupid for try for point out say Cameroon or French Cameroon be getting independence on the 1st of January. Yes. And they were viable to get their independence. And they were independent. And they still are independent. And they be get a seat at the United Nations even before we not even one go vote for join them, they were already seated at the United Nations. French Cameroon, La République du Cameroon, where we not call them, it be don't sit at the United Nations. They decide una fate. Time where they come now, after the plebiscite of 11th of February 1961, they can't vote for United Nations General Assembly. La République du Cameroon, as we call them, French Cameroon, be vote. And for that vote, they no be want make that result stand because they no be want for lose the former British Northern Cameroons will be vote for join Nigeria. They reject them. Now why that way they be vote down on that resolution for 1961. That resolution after the plebiscite vote where they be vote on the 11th of February 1961. I think it be now for April after the vote for February. The United Nations General Assembly be convened in April 1961. For prepare everything, make everything, put everything in place. Before now, the former Southern Cameroons joined the La République du Cameroon officially for October 1961. So for that vote for April 1961, one of the countries, the way they be vote for decide whether for accept for that resolution 1608, where they always quote them. One of the countries, the way it be seated at the United Nations, where we vote for that resolution, now the Republic of Cameroon, French Cameroon, they vote against that resolution. Why? Because that resolution, it will conclude, say the former Northern Cameroons, it could join Nigeria. And they don't be one time, they don't agree, they don't agree. They even go for court, for go fight, for unite back with the former British Northern Cameroons. Yes, Cameroon, the French Cameroon, take the matter to court. That's the length at which they went. That's why they vote them down. They vote resolution 1608. They vote them down because they no be one for lose the former Northern Cameroons to Nigeria. So make una understand una history. Not let some idiots they post one picture on Facebook. They try for bamboozle una say, okay, they be independent for January 1961. We will be independent on 1st of October they will be independent 1st of January 1960. And then Southern Cameroons be independent now for October 1961. So now two different countries them. Stupidity. In that case, you could also talk, say, Nigeria be independent since June 1960. And then now the Northern Cameroons, it can't join them now for June 1961. 1 year after. It means that now two different countries. If not the same, if you want to use that stupid logic where not just madness, if you want for talk soon, then you could talk to Nigeria too. Now two different countries. Then Northern Cameroons get right for secede. That's what you are saying. That's what you are implying. Because actually, the resolution 1608 was not about the British Southern Cameroons alone. It was about the British Cameroons, where it included the British Northern Cameroons and the British Southern Cameroons. So everything about resolution 1608 now about that one territory. The British Cameroons now one territory, not be two. Now the British they divide them into the Northern Cameroons and the Southern Cameroons for make them easier for them for administer the territory. That is it. So the United Nations trusteeship agreement with the British, it be been for one territory called the British Cameroons. The territory now be into two parts. Now the British they divide them into the Northern and the Southern Cameroons for make them easier for them for administer them. Now why that way resolution 1608 it is talking about one territory, the British Cameroons. But when it becomes to the plebiscite, the United Nations it be agree. Say me they hold the same plebiscite on the same day with exactly the same question for the same one territory, but the decision for the Northern Cameroons it would be binding only to Northern Cameroons, Why the decision of the people then for Southern Cameroons, it will be binding only to the people of the Southern Cameroons. So now, they no be take the result for the two Northern and Southern Cameroons, them combine them together for see which side they go. No. Since the Northern Cameroons, they be vote for join Nigeria, they allowed them for join Nigeria. And the Southern Cameroons, where they be vote for join Cameroon, they allowed them for join Cameroon. So now they deal that. Understand your history. Knowledge is power.
Now, what I talk about the excesses them. The excesses, the over thing away where Ambazian, where our brother they get the whole stick for ground zero they do one. The excesses them. The thing they want to do one way, you don't make them. Like, but we don't give voice for talk. You don't make them. So some people they don't give voice for the come on talk some kind of thing away. You know, supposed to talk. You understand no? If you be diaspora colonel or a diaspora commander or general, you watch me, come. Be close, add your volume. If you get any person for ground zero, send in the message forward and for him here. Say this so Ambazonian soldier them. That because of their excesses them, where some people then give voice for talk today. And those excesses then give for stop. You need to stop those things. Your excesses in a waiting. The plenty thing when I do and where you know correct. The thing when I do and where you know correct. For example, you understand? You go when I go home, people they say me the most support struggle. Say mommy then give 10,000, pa then give 15,000. They take money for outside. Those are excesses. It's not correct. Not be because you hold stick, we go tell man say him or do this, him or do that. It's not correct. You know sometimes the way you need for enforce some law. But no only being a master for enforce law in a bad law. Not being a person for enforce law in a bad law. You know correct. Those are excesses. It's not correct. The reason why you not correct is because you know if the ask man give you money when you know the work, it the work with you. You can't talk say this so they work. They work with you. I don't talk say you if you be soldier for ground zero, if you hold stick for ground zero, you sure say if they take that stick for your hand, give for different man, where that man will treat you so. Me that man hold that stick, that man do that very thing for you, go like him. You be sure say this so if you know be hold that stick for your hand, you will comply with thing where another man he talk how he do. Now just simple thing. Even Bible talk and say, do unto others what you want them to do unto you. You know they call and say karma. You know that karma. If you do good go follow you. Do bad go follow you. You understand? Now if you do bad thing for some person, don't take a license a debt because one day they will pay you back. They go pay you back. They go pay you back. So now because of the excesses them, because of the too much kind thing them, then you make and some people they give voice for talk at one because they they do excesses. You do your cup the flop, your cup don't flop so they throw away. You know correct. Eh? You go take my bike, you go seize my bike. The man want talk, you shoot it. Eh? You ball it, he correct. Why you seize the bike? Or sometimes you go tell the man say this one beg, give me your bag, man, use them. The man the man give you. You see, you can't give for next Wednesday. Wednesday can pass, you don't bring her. Thursday can pass, you don't bring her. Each day this way you bring her on Friday. Even call yourself. You get her in for phone. You tell you say this so if you play, you can't ball it. What is that? Incorrect? Incorrect. You should say na your own bike. They take and so you go like him. You go like him. I don't ask you, I don't tell you, I say your excess is them. Now you didn't make them. Plenty people and they get voice for begin talk against this struggle. Una stop for the make excesses them. Una stop for the cash people and they ask money from them. It be so shameful. Say that some people they call themselves they be leader them. Where they diaspora, they not be able again for raise money. Una know why we down a leader them for diaspora not be able again for raise money. They know why they not be able again for raise money because of the bad work they for ground zero. Because of the bad work they for ground zero. I tell you the truth. Now only your brother will tell you the truth. I know go for different place go tell you. I know when you can hear the truth from the enemy more. I know when you can hear the truth from the Republic more. Me, I will tell you the truth. That because of the excesses there, the excesses are not good. Stop it. Stop it. Stop her. Don't go talk say this way when I do liberation tax. Now excesses that is not good. It's very bad. Now bad thing. Now bad thing. I tell you the truth. Eh? You can't talk say this way man pay you tax. The man is work with you. I don't ask you say my brother for ground zero where you go stick. I don't ask you say, wait, yeah, fine. Ask your leader, say, that country where they stay there so, person will know the work. Person will know the work, no nothing. He pay tax. Ask him. First, you know the work for that country. Ask her for Norway. Ask Cho Ayaba. Say, well, in the state for Norway, no. Say for Norway, man, we know the work he pay tax. Ask Cho Ayaba. Ask them. Ask down there in America. Lucas, ask to them. Man Nigella, ask them. Franklin Vela, ask them what a man we did for America. Where they stay for America, we know the work, no nothing. He pay tax for government. Now, question now what they ask them what I mean, they reply you here. Even you for your normal sense, man, we know the work he pay tax. Wait till be tax. Tax now, wait. They tax now money where you make them. They tax your revenue. The income where you get them from some particular business activity. That you give some for it as tax to support the government. Mommy, we know the work for ground zero, he pay tax. He correct. Why am I go on a mommy for ground zero? When I go buy and sell and say buy and sell and they survive now. Buy and sell and they survive now. Buy and sell and then they get like 15 IDP then for their house. They go do how? When I want me they die. You know how much they know how many mob they feed them every day. He correct. People in the diaspora where they don't support this struggle. They support una leader. Una listen fine. They diaspora. They support una leader. They fine. Pour money. Una they cash their family for ground zero. Say me they give money again. If now you the way don't support struggle with the diaspora. They cash your money for ground zero. Say me you pay ransom. You pay them. You the diaspora. You still support the struggle again. You don't go support them no. The phone said ask and say all that money for ransom. Who say you don't go? Because of their excesses them. Now because of the excesses they want to make them. Now they make some people they be scared away. Now they make them not get enough support when you give for camp. Because of the excesses they make and then they make get enough support. I see I will talk on the matter. I not go leave the matter. I will continue to talk on top until change come. You understand no? Now only my way like will tell you the truth. Now only my way like for see you succeed will tell you the truth. I know come can hide them because I want pamper you. Because I didn't inside the struggle, I know we'll talk the truth. Me like Republican talk the truth. We need to say these things. I can tell that the truth so that una go hear, una brain, una mind open, una do the right thing.
We were informed of the abduction of junior officer of Amanda 2 in Mezan Division and other immediate collaborators who are in their way to come and witness the commissioning of the incoming of government 2. They were ambushed by terrorists. Aware of this horrible incident, the head of state, His Excellency Paul Biya, instructed family, the administrative authorities and the security services to carry out a swift military operation in order to set free the hostages. As such, 4 hours later, we received reliable information that the state administrative authority was free. Thanks to the bravery and professionalism of our valiant military forces, as well as the bravery of the abducted victims. Nevertheless, I continue counting and craving the indulgence of the peace-loving population of this Republican and peaceful division. All traditional municipal and regional authorities, all living forces, peace and vigilance groups to continue providing the security forces with all information at hand to free the remaining hostages that are still not yet released. My dear population of Lower Mountain Division,